Hello, this is Dr. Jenn, the Intuitive Phoenix, here for a pop-up psychic healing session for those who join me tonight. What is a pop-up psychic healing session or coaching session? It is your opportunity to ask questions and get answers. It's an opportunity to discover what's got you blocked and bust up those blocks. It is getting aligned to getting the results that you want to manifest. It's about clearing out old baggage, physical, emotional, spiritual, or mental. It's about opening pathways, and it's about healing. So if you've got a question, if there's something that you want to know about me and the work that I do, about how I do it, or if you have questions about something going on in your life, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, this is the time and place to ask it. I know we see in movies and TV shows about people with extrasensory abilities, and well, for someone who has been developing their extrasensory abilities, I can tell you that some of them are kind of whacked, at least based on my experience. Some of them, yeah, I don't know where people think of these things, but of course it may be somebody else's experience. But if you are here, say hello. So I know you're here. I see numbers popping up that there's people joining, but if we're not already friends or in some way connected on Facebook, I can't see you, so I don't know that you're here. So say hello, say where you're from, because I always find it fascinating to see where I'm connecting to people from all over the world. Last one I did of these, we had people from Western North Carolina, where I live, and there were people in New Zealand and England, and I'm trying to think of some of the other places, Australia. So we had people from other parts of the country and then around the world. So again, say hello and share where you're from. And then, of course, if you've got questions or comments, share those too, because the first people who comment, the first people who ask questions are the first people who get answers. And if this is your first time and you're feeling like, oh, I don't know. Oh, all right. Well, I just had a whole bunch of people pop up. So let me see if I can see who's here. It could be we have a storm going on, so it could be that they're not all coming through as they are happening. Susie says hello. Hi, Susie. Kelly's joined. Hey, Kel. And Carl has joined. Hello, Carl. I don't know if anybody else is here. I see Debbie. Debbie, hello. But yeah, say hello. And let me know if you have questions. And Susie has a question. Susie has an event on Saturday, and she says, can y'all come? I will check my schedule, Susie. It's right back here. I will check that, and I will get back to you about that. Thank you for asking for us to join. And Susie says I'm amazing. Well, she's amazing too. As I often refer to, when we spot something in somebody else, something that we, well, think is amazing about somebody, I often say, if you spot it, you got it. So, Susie, back to you as far as you're amazing too. Melissa says hello. Hi, Melissa. Lee has joined. Hello, welcome. So if it's your first time here and you've got a question, put it in the comments, because that's where I'm going to be keeping an eye out and answering either questions that come up. And you don't have to go into a lot of detail. So I don't need to know like all your personal story. In most cases, giving me a really brief question is typically enough. If I need more information, then I will ask for more information, but typically you can keep it pretty short. Okay, Lee says, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. She says, do you think I will have another relationship? Okay, so I do get yes. I do get yes, that you will have another relationship. And she says she hasn't been in a while. Let me see if there's anything else that comes up for you as far as having another relationship. Definitely yes, I do get yes. Let's see if we can get a time frame. To meet somebody, yes. Okay, I'm getting 6 to 8 weeks as far as meeting somebody that could turn into a relationship. Is there anything that we can do to basically line things up? And I think of my own relationship. When I first met my wife, I had been doing personal work. I had been in relationships and, they had ended. And I didn't want to repeat the same patterns and the same things that led to relationships ending. I wanted things to be different. I wanted to increase the possibility and the likelihood that my next relationship was going to be something that was happy and healthy and sustainable. And I'm very happy to say that, now I'm married. So things worked out. And Lee's going really, oh, wow, as far as 6 to 8 weeks. Now, 6 to 8 weeks to meet someone, not necessarily 6 to 8 weeks to meet the one. But yeah, you'll start meeting some, let me see, is it more than one person? Yeah, there's going to be a couple of people that come around that you might find yourself interested in. And thank you. Lee says, congratulations. And let me see. And so let's see if we can clean things up. And again, when I say clean things up, our past experiences can sometimes block or give us some challenges in relationships that we want to start. And again, I don't want to repeat old patterns. I don't want to feel like I've been there, done that. So when it comes to Lee and a relationship, let's see if there is, okay, I'm getting that we can do some clearing. So do I do that clearing? Yes. Okay, so Lee, I'm going to do some clearing around relationships. And when I say clearing, I compare energetic clearing much to like doing a spring cleaning of your house or office, or when you are purging and you're decluttering, when you realize that there's a space that, it's just gotten cluttered and a whole bunch of stuff has ended up there and it gets in the way and you can't find anything. So when I'm doing energetic clearing, I compare it to that. It's much like just going through things, and whatever you don't need or want or doesn't work anymore, it gets moved out. And I'm going to do that for Lee as far as connecting to a happy, healthy relationship here in her future. So I'm going to do that clearing now. Okay, so I did that clearing, cleared out again any clutter and things that are, not supporting her in a happy, healthy relationship. And let me see if there's anything else that we can do for her as far as a relationship. Okay. And then I always ask, are there recommendations? And recommendations are things that we can do that will increase the likelihood that you will get the results and experience that you're looking for, or even better. So let's see what comes up for her as far as recommendations. Okay, and I'm asking some questions. Is it something she's already doing? No. Something she's thinking about doing? No. Okay, so this would be something new. Yes. Okay, so Lee, what I'm getting is start creating a list. And on this list are things that are non-negotiable. So, for instance, what might go on my non-negotiable list is, because I'm married, so was an inconsiderate smoker. Somebody who smokes all the time, who smells like a cigarette, who's blowing smoke in your face. After dating somebody who was like that, I knew that I would not date like somebody like that again. So that goes on my non-negotiable list. Another thing on my non-negotiable list might be somebody who is demeaning, or somebody who is sarcastic in a way that you question, are they being funny or are they not? But it's not nice. So those things might go on my non-negotiable list. People, let me see if there's something else that comes into mind. No, I guess that's a good example. Those are some good examples. Then there might be some things that you would really like in a relationship. And that could be you want somebody who, well, can take care of themselves, who has a good job, is reliable, who likes some of the same things that you do. So that would go on the list that it would be really nice if the person that you meet has these characteristics. And then there's the negotiables. Things that it would be like the cherry on top, but if it wasn't there, the relationship would still be a good, happy, healthy one. So, Lee, start creating a list like that for yourself over these next days and weeks. And as you think about it, you may change it, you may cross some things off, add some things to it. It's not written in stone, so you can update it. But that will help you connect to what you're looking for. So keep us posted on how that goes. Even if it's weeks from now, we'd love to hear back from you. And you are very welcome. She said, thank you. She's like, this is wonderful. All right. Let's see. Melissa says, how am I? I am good. Thank you, Melissa. It's good to have you here. Hello, Vicki. Hello, Lori. Hello, Sean. It's good to have you all here. Say hello. Of course, say where you're from, because I always love to hear where people are connecting from. As I was saying earlier when I first got on to the live, last time I did this, we had people from other parts of the world. And I think that's always interesting to know that we're connecting and communicating with people, well, from all over the place. So I'd love to hear where you're from. And if you're just joining, if you've got a question, post the question. If there's something you want to know more about, feel free to post that as well. You don't have to give me a lot of details because I don't typically need a lot of details. And if I need more for some reason or want to clarify something, I can always ask you. So feel free to post those questions and comments below. And I'm looking back to see if I missed anyone, because there's been a lot of comments that have popped up. No, I guess I have gotten them so far. So, and Lee says she will keep us posted and to have a lovely night. You too, and feel free to join in the future or hang around. One of the things, I have some people who, when I do these lives, they try to join right from the start and will often stay till the end, because a lot of the questions and information that comes up and gets discussed, they find is relevant to them as well. So as I share recommendations, as I share information or ask questions, sometimes those questions are very, very relevant to the people who are watching. I don't believe it's a coincidence when, well, you show up and you're hearing somebody else's questions or stories. When I've done group sessions, and I have one later on this evening, during my group sessions, one of the things that stands out is people always say, I learned something from every single person who was here. I learned something from their questions and what they shared and what they discovered. So that is often the case here as well. Now, Melissa says, I've had a good week. Thanks in part to me. Melissa did join our last pop-up as well. And she's wondering if I have anything for her. Now, that is also what some people do when they join. And they may not want to ask or share a specific question, but they want to know if there is basically some information for them or some feedback that I can offer. So that's another way to gain some insight and, well, gain some insight. I'll leave it there. So let me see if there's something from Melissa. Okay, now we're going to address some beliefs with Melissa. And if you've seen any of my materials or you've joined before, then you know that beliefs are one of the foundational tools that I use, because our beliefs can either block what we're wanting to manifest, create, live in our lives, or they can boost and open pathways and opportunities to what we want to manifest, live, or create in our lives. And so I use belief statements a lot because it can create those pathways. Now, let's see which belief we're going to address with Melissa. Okay, and I have a list that I work with. I've created it over the period of years. It started off with me wanting to remember the beliefs I wanted to own, the beliefs I wanted to embody, the beliefs that, well, again, can help me manifest and create a life that I wanted to be living versus the one that I was currently experiencing that had a lot of limits and challenges and pain and, well, the list goes on. So the belief from Melissa tonight is, my world is a safe world. So Melissa, if you'd repeat after me, my world is a safe world. This is so important because when we feel safe in our world, then we feel safe to step outside our comfort zone. We feel safe to try new things, meet new people. We feel safe to get to know people and to discover the common ground that we share. We can more easily communicate effectively. We can also, well, agree to disagree without it being painful and personal and divisive and sometimes mean. So those are some of the benefits of living in and having the belief, my world is a safe world. So this one is for all of us. And I'm going to do some clearing because there are some blocks right now for Melissa to have that belief that our world is a safe world. And this is not based on what's going on like in the news or, you know, with our government and politics. This has to do with you being safe within yourself, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally on a conscious and subconscious basis. So this is not, that you're sitting in your home and you're safe, and that your neighborhood right now feels safe. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about from within. So, I'm going to do some clearing. Okay, and if Melissa would repeat again, and of course, if you're watching, you can repeat as well. My world is a safe world. Okay, and now I'm getting a yes. Let me see, are there other beliefs from Melissa tonight? No. Okay, anything else to clear generally? No. Emotions to address? No. Okay, recommendations. Yes. All right, so there's some recommendations for Melissa. Is it something she's already doing? No. Thinking about doing? Yes. Melissa, is there something that you're thinking of doing? Something new? Is it something new? Yeah, something new that you're thinking of trying? If you'd post that and share that, that would be great. Because there's some information that wants to be said about that. Hey, Rachel, welcome. And again, if you're just joining, feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're from, because I always like to see what parts of the country or what parts of the world people are from. And yeah, just to see where we're connecting to. I know I've shared this a couple of times, that last time I did this, we had people from Western North Carolina, and then we had people from Massachusetts, and I can't think of what other states, but then we had people from New Zealand and Australia and England, which really cool in my opinion. So Melissa says, oh, she's looking for a new career. Okay, is this what we're referring to? Recommendation about something new? Yes. Is this in her highest and best interest? I'm getting yes, that it is in her highest and best interest that she look at a possibility for a new career. And is there information about that? Yes. Okay, so I like lists. If you hear me speak, if you've heard me speak, or even was on earlier this evening, I was talking about creating lists to connect to a new relationship. And I know I had a pop-up live that I did probably about a month ago, where it was somebody who was looking for a new career and weren't sure what they were looking for. And this is what I'm getting for you too as well, Melissa. And this can work whether you have an idea of what career you want to go into, or you know that you just don't want to be doing what you're currently doing. It's time to start a list. And that list is, what do you know you want to be experiencing in this new career? And start with what you know. Do you have a certain salary range? Do you know that you want Monday through Friday? That you want full time? Or are you looking for something that has more flexibility, some more freedom? Are you looking to work for yourself and be your own boss? Or are you looking to be part of a team? Do you want something that's a fast pace, that you're working with a bunch of other people? Or are you wanting something that you pretty much know your responsibilities and you're left to take care of them yourself? So whatever things that you want to be part of this new career, put on this list, and put it in a place that you can easily access it, that you see it all the time, and update it as you as you make discoveries or as you uncover what you know you want to be experiencing. Because by visiting it every day, by keeping your list updated, and by imagining what this job feels like, what this career feels like, then the other specifics will start to show up. Does that make sense, Melissa? Let me know if that resonates with you. And Rachel says she's from New York. Well, welcome, Rachel. I'm originally from Massachusetts. And Eric has joined. He says, what's up? I hope you're well. I am really well. Eric and I went to chiropractic school together. Yeah, went to chiropractic school together. It seems like it's been forever ago. It is almost a decade. So I haven't seen Eric in a long time. It's good to see you, Eric. Well, good to see you here. I hope you are well too. One of the things I love about social media and Facebook is I get to at least keep up to date to some degree with people. So it's good to know that that he's popping in. So Eric, since you just joined, if you have a question for me or something that you're wondering about, if you're still here, feel free to post that in a comment. And it can be something about your business or you or something in general. But yeah, it's good to see them. And okay, and then Melissa says, oh, makes perfect sense. She says, thank you very much. And Melissa, keep us posted as well. Keep us posted as well on how that goes. So again, if you're just joining, I see the numbers fluctuate in the corner of my screen. So that's why I know some people are coming and going, and I don't know if it's the same people or if it's new people. So obviously, if you stick with me the entire time I'm live, you're going to hear me repeat things. But say hello if you're here. Tell me where you're from, because I love seeing that. And then if you've got a question or a comment, it can be something specific, or it can be something more general. And Eric says, yes, it's been forever. It does. It seems like forever. And he says, I will never forget your smile. Eric was somebody who absolutely did make me smile. He says I'm the best. And he's wondering how I make life so fun and to keep up the good work. How do I make life so fun? Well, you know, part of making life so fun was honestly a decision I made some years ago when I realized I was working too hard. Because I was work. I was always doing. I wasn't putting time in for fun. So now fun goes into my schedule. Fun gets planned. Fun, and that can be whether I'm super busy or not. I plan weeks in advance. Because if it doesn't go in my schedule, then it might not get done. So when it comes to fun, now that I'm talking about it, if you have not put fun, well, if it's not in your schedule and you think, well, I don't know the last time that I had fun, then what I want you to do is I want you to get out your planner, however you plan. You know, I have my planner right here. Of course, I know some people use an online planner. And whatever you use, I want you to go out, if need be, you know, a couple of weeks out, if you don't have time prior to that, and start blocking out time for fun. Fun is non-negotiable as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's non-negotiable. So make sure that you are putting fun in your schedule. Trying some new things, for sure. All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments? And I will tell you that I'm going to wrap things up tonight. Usually I go until the questions stop, but tonight I am going to wrap up about 6:20 because I do have a group call. I have a group healing call planned for tonight. I do group healing calls that are open to everyone, that are open to the community, to the public, I guess you could say. I do them virtually, and I do them once a month. And tonight, that is what I've got scheduled. The benefit of joining and doing whether it's a virtual group like the one tonight, or if you live locally in Western North Carolina, I also do one monthly in person. The benefit of that is people can come, they can still ask questions, but we have more time. We're going to focus on typically each person, depending on the number of people that are there, and everybody is going to get some undivided attention, and we can dive deeper into what's going on and do some more clearing, some more healing, and we have more time. We have more time. So if that's something you're interested in, I will post details so that way you can join me, in a following month. Because again, it's 2 hours that I spend with people, and you get more personal time. You get to talk to me directly. If we do it virtually, I do it through Zoom, so that way I can see you and you can see me, and that makes it more fun too, in my opinion. I'm not just looking at myself in the screen. I get to actually see people. And I have some people who have been to every single one of my group sessions because it is their monthly check-in. They make sure that, if new things are coming up or they're finding themselves stuck, then they're coming to that monthly event to get it addressed and taken care of. Now, one of the things that I did want to touch on tonight is the questions that you bring can be about something that's physically happening in your life. So if you are experiencing pain or illness or discomfort, or there's something going on physically with your body, then that's something you can also share. I know people have talked about careers and relationships tonight, and sometimes they're talking about, their life in general or something spiritual. We can also address physical. I had a client call earlier today, and the reason the call was happening was because somebody was feeling like they were getting a sore throat and also were experiencing some pain in their leg and their knee. And they knew from past experience that the work that we had done together had resolved other physical pain and ailments that they were experiencing, and knew that I could help with this as well. So they got on the phone today and scheduled a session so that way we could address what was going on physically in her body. So if you've got something that's going on physically, you can feel free to post that as well, because we can go through a process to address what you're physically feeling. Of course, we can also do emotional and spiritual, mental as well. So please feel free to post your questions and comments. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking. And while I always have lots of things I can talk about, I would love to address it for you personally. So if you're still here, you can say hello. If you're here, you can say hello. Let me know where you're coming or a comment that you want to know about in your life, in your business, and it can be more general or specific. I don't need a lot of details. I don't typically need to know a lot of details. And of course, as I mentioned, if there's something physical going on that you're feeling that you're like, oh, I just want this to go away, or I don't want to be in pain, or maybe you're experiencing allergies or not sleeping well. Those are all things that you can feel free to post about as well. I'm just waiting to see if anybody has anything that they want to share. Now, some of the people who have joined tonight, like Eric, for instance, who I was talking to a little bit ago. We went to chiropractic school together because that is what my degree is in. I am a doctor of chiropractic and still licensed. I just don't practice as a chiropractor anymore. I now practice as an intuitive and psychic healer, doing energetic healing and also, well, basically passing along information that I receive for you. So when I'm working in a session with somebody, information is coming through for people who I'm talking to. So I say this because my ability to do that was not something I was aware of, like when I was in chiropractic school. It was not something I was aware of for a big part of my life. I do realize now, looking back, that I can recognize that when I was younger, I knew things that people didn't think I should know. So I can say that I knew I had those abilities probably my entire life, but I also found myself, well, on some level getting in trouble or people being uncomfortable with me because I knew things that they felt like I shouldn't know. So I stopped listening. I stopped paying attention. I shut it down. And then it was some years ago, probably now about 5 years ago, that I, through various circumstances, opened up to my abilities again, and since then have been developing them. And that's part of what I help people do in my group monthly programs, the 6-month program, and also my private sessions that I do with people. I help them rediscover and develop their extrasensory abilities. Now, mine comes as a knowing. I don't hear things, I don't see things typically. Though that is changing, where I'm starting to see things. Um, I sometimes sense people's emotions, but for the most part, I have this knowing. I describe it as that because I feel like the information appears here, or shows up here, or I sense it here. And I don't hear it or see it. So if extrasensory abilities, if you know you've got them or you would like to rediscover them or develop them, I would love to hear from you. You can either post a comment below or send me a private message because it's powerful. We have access to so much more when we're using our extrasensory abilities. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Let's see, Rachel, I'm wondering if I will have a hard time finding a new apartment. Now, if I remember correctly, Rachel, you had asked that at our last pop-up, will you have a hard time finding a new apartment? All right, and what I'm getting is I really can't answer that question, and at least not to say yes or no. We can set ourselves up to bring ease to a situation, or we can set ourselves up to bring challenges and hardship and struggle to a situation. So what I'm getting, Rachel, is it is time to start telling yourself it's easy. Well, actually, the phrase that I'm getting, or the statement I'm getting, it's easier than expected to find a new apartment. So an intention, an affirmation, it's easier than expected to find a new apartment. That would be a statement that you can use, a belief that you can use to bring more ease to the situation of finding a new apartment. Does that make sense? Let me know if it does. And let's see if there's anything else I can share with Rachel. Okay, and then the other thing I get is, as part of that statement, I want to make sure that I'm clear on this. As part of that statement, trust yourself that it's going to work out. You know, often we start to get anxiety, get worried about what might or might not happen. And we're worried about something that hasn't happened or that we want to have happen. And we can't control it. We can't make it happen or not happen. And yet we're putting all of this energy and focus into it being hard or it not happening or it happening, depending on what it is that we don't want. And it is time to shift and switch that energy from what you don't want to what you do want. So that's the other piece that I'm getting, Rachel, is keep that focus, keep that intention on what you do want, and yeah, keep their energy flowing that way. I hope that helps. Keep us posted as far as that as well, because I do get that there's no blocks to you finding a new apartment. Like there's no energetic blocks that I can clear, or that you could clear, because I'm getting that there aren't any. So, all right. Is there anybody else here? We're going to wrap up here in the next few minutes because I do have a group healing, one of my public group healings scheduled tonight at 6:30, where I will be, connecting with people like yourself who have decided to join me and, for one of my paid 2-hour sessions. So I'm going to be starting that here pretty soon. So if there are any last minute questions or comments, hello Doris, welcome. If you've got any, my apartment needs to be cleared. Oh, and I get that it does. Do you typically clear your apartment, Dolores? Clearing our space is excellent. And that's one of the things my wife actually does, is she does space clearing. She does it for apartments, she does it for offices, homes. She can do it for property. Because energy can get, stuck, trapped, live in a space, and it can become stagnant. It can become heavy. It can, have energies that don't support us, uplift us. So clearing your space on a regular basis is excellent. I do mine pretty regularly. I don't have it on a set schedule. I know some people do it at least once a month. When I had a physical office and people were coming in all the time, then I would do it every day, because I didn't want any energy that was released or that was let go from the healing and clearing, and at that point adjusting that I was doing, to get stuck in the space or to be hanging around the space. So now I do it as I feel it, as I need it, because now in my office, for the most part, it's just me that's in here. So I don't do it as frequently. I do it when I'm called. So Dolores, let me see if there's anything else that we can add as far as, she uses white sage, and white sage is excellent for clearing space. Is it asking for something else? Yes, your apartment is asking for something else. Okay, Dolores, what I'm getting is it would be beneficial to get the air moving. So opening up your windows, for a couple of hours. And if you've got like either ceiling fans or other fans, that can help move the energy. That would be beneficial. Let me see, do you do it after the white sage? Yes, so do the white sage first, and then after you've used the sage, then open the windows and get that air moving. So that way that smoke and that air can move out. Let me see if there's something else. Anything else that's being asked for to clear her apartment? Oh, and then the other thing that's being asked for, Dolores, is ancestors. Is your ancestors wanting to be in your space? Dolores, do you have a place where you recognize your ancestors or communicate with your ancestors? Do you do that? I communicate with my ancestors every day. Now, I typically start off my day saying good morning to my ancestors. Even though they've passed, well, their energy is still around. Maybe not around here where I am, but I can still communicate with them. So I say good morning to all the names of the ancestors that I know, and then those that I don't. And I know a lot of them because my wife does genealogy research for people, and she's done some of mine. I know earlier today she was working on another client's, gaining more information about their genealogy. So, well, and that's why I know a lot of mine. So I will name all the names of my ancestors that I know, and then I will recognize those ancestors that I don't know their names of. So that way I'm recognizing them all. So I say good morning to them every day. So Dolores says when her ancestors come to her, she talks to them. She says grandmother's dad's uncles, cousins. Okay, so Dolores, what is being asked for as far as your space as well is if you have pictures of them, if you can create a space that is for them. Like I have a space here in my office, I use it as my office. It's also where I meditate. It's where I stretch and do yoga. It's my quiet space. It's the space where my music might go on and I might dance. It's my space. So I have space here for my ancestors. And I've got pictures of some of my ancestors, and it's just a place for me to recognize them. And Kelly's posting in the comments, so it didn't come up right. Kelly Hatfield is my wife. She does an ancestral clearing. So she's the one that knows more about ancestors because she's been talking to them a whole lot longer than I have. And not just her own, but others as well. So certainly if you want to know more, you can reach out to her because, check out her Facebook page because she's got more information about that. So Dolores, yes, hang pictures of them in your room. Yes. And then sometimes I might put flowers in that area or just do things to dress it up a little bit. Just to remind all your ancestors that you're aware of them, that you want to acknowledge them, that you want to communicate, that you're open to communicate with them. And some may come talk to you, others may not. I do have some that come to visit, Kelly and I both. We have, some family members and also some friends that come to visit and say hello. So that's the other thing that's being asked for Dolores. Let me see if there's anything else. Anything else for Dolores and her apartment needing to be cleansed? No, not right now. But she says that sounds really good to her. Awesome. So again, we talked about a few things tonight because I am going to wrap up because I have my virtual group, my monthly virtual group that is open to the public. I'm going to do that here starting in just about 5 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up here, but we touched on creating lists of what you want to call into your life, whether it's for a relationship, for a new career. It could be a manifestation list. Lists are awesome for that, putting them in some place easily seen, easily updated, so that way we're clear on what we want. What else we talked about? Well, obviously we talked about ancestors, and if you want to know more about ancestors, Kelly is the person to connect with on that, or more about genealogy. And then, and I talked about physical health, because you can know that if you're experiencing something physically in your life, we can address that too. Part of the work that I do with people is helping them to heal themselves, enhance their own healing abilities. So we do that. And I talked about extrasensory abilities. So if you're looking to enhance abilities that you already know that you're aware of, or you're wondering if you have extrasensory abilities, or yes, I want to learn how to tap into and develop my extrasensory abilities, then send me a private message because I can help you with that. And with that said, if you're watching this when it's no longer live and you've got questions or comments, feel free to post them below. I will get back to you. And then, of course, stay tuned for future pop-up sessions. All right, everyone, I'm sending health and love and ease in your transformation. Until we connect again, I'll talk to you later. Bye.